Lucky's situation is psychological. Beckett shows him trapped in a psychological, emotional, and power-based prison that makes refusal impossible in practice, even if it might be possible in theory. I'm making this quick video in response to these comments by a fellow book lover. He says, Lucky has a choice, but most employees has gotten comfortably trapped in what seems convenient. Now I may have to reread this book again. Yes, Diana, please reread Waiting for Godot and let's have this conversation again. I'm glad you used the word seems because Lucky's situation is far from convenient. While I agree with you that in theory Lucky has a choice, but in reality does he? Here's how I see it. Firstly, Lucky is literally controlled by Pozzo. He's tied with a rope around his neck. Pozzo holds a whip. He gives commands like he's controlling an animal. He says, up, pig, back, hold your tongue, think. He commands him to think. Lucky responds immediately every time. That level of control makes refusal unsafe. Secondly, Lucky has been emotionally broken. He never speaks unless ordered. He obeys instantly without hesitation. He behaves like someone who has learned that disagreement leads to punishment and consequences. When Vladimir and Estragon try to comfort him, Lucky stands there limp, like someone who has had the fight beaten out of him long ago. He doesn't resist. He doesn't assert himself. He doesn't protect himself. He just endures. That isn't choice. That is conditioning. Pozzo literally presents Lucky to strangers and says, what would you like him to do? Dance or think? And Lucky obeys without a word. A person with real freedom does not perform tricks for strangers on command. And again, Pozzo even brags about how much he has taken from Lucky intellectually. The quote is chilling. It says, but for all my thoughts, all my feelings would have been of common things. Professional worries, beauty, grace, truth of the first water. I knew they were all beyond me, so I took a knock. Pozzo used Lucky emotionally, physically, and intellectually. He drained him, and Vladimir, who is the philosophical one of both trumps, sees this when he responds. And now you turn him away, such an old and faithful servant. After having sucked all the good out of him, you chuck him away like a banana skin. Like a banana skin. That line alone says it all. Pozzo uses Lucky until he's empty, then plans to discard him. Let's not forget that Lucky has been Pozzo's assistant for 60 years. Lucky believes he must stay or he would lose everything. Pozzo says Lucky insists on carrying the heavy bag, not because it's his job, but because he fears being thrown away. Even Pozzo knows that Lucky has nowhere else to go. He depends on him for food and basic survival and to feed the estragons in his life. It's the same philosophical trap many abused workers, spouses, or dependents fall into. They can live in theory, but in their mind, in their fear, in their conditioning, they cannot. Additionally, silence becomes Lucky's refusal, but it changes nothing. Even in the chicken bone scene, Lucky doesn't accept or refuse. He simply stands there. Silence is his only expression left, and even that is interpreted for him by Pozzo. So even when Lucky chooses, his choice is overwritten. And finally, Beckett shows someone who has lost all autonomy. Lucky's name is ironic, actually. He isn't Lucky. He is owned. His mind, his body, his speech, and choices all belong to Pozzo. And by Act 2, Lucky becomes literally mute. The one thing he had left, his voice, is gone. So why can't Lucky say no? Because Beckett is showing us the darkest truth about oppressive relationships. By the time the victim could say no, they no longer know how. Their voice, confidence, agency, and identity have been slowly erased. Lucky is not incapable of refusing. He is conditioned not to. He is dependent not to. He is psychologically trapped not to. He is too broken to. That is the tragedy Beckett writes with painful clarity, and hopefully this reminds everyone watching that while the rope may feel tight, you still have the ability to break free, because waiting passively like Vladimir and Estragon for Godot to magically change everything will not bring deliverance. Sometimes you have to take the step yourself. This is a sad one. But again, if I don't make you love classic books, who will? Keep the comments coming. Bye.